Mathew Carpenter. It's talking about Joel Wallach. Another man who should have changed everything you think about chronic disease, but got pushed out of the mainstream system. He literally wrote the book linking trace mineral depletion and disease. I'd like to invite Mathew Carpenter up to speak on his speech titled Joe Wallach, Trace Mineral Group.
My name is Matthew. I got sick early in life. I got myself better instead of going to the doctors. So all my speeches are about natural health and curing chronic disease. Last time I spoke, it was about Dr. Bernard Jensen and the science and study of iridology, where we can see the health of our individual organs and whatnot through the iris of our eyes. This time I'm going to mention Dr. Joel Wallach. There's a website called the Wallach Files if you want to look him up and see more about him. But he was born in 1940, 1960s early. He went to the University of Missouri and eventually became a veterinarian. He wrote the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie. He looked into the average age of doctors when they pass on, and it turns out they don't live as long as everybody else. People at the time, I think, were living into their early 80s. I think he said doctors were dying in their 60s sometime. So he questioned, what do they really know about health and taking care of themselves? In the late 60s, the National Institute of Health gave a grant to St. Louis Zoological Gardens to study the ecological factor in premature deaths. The study was done on animals. This is what started him in the trace mineral investigation and linked to chronic disease. He did autopsies on over 17,500 animals of some 454 species and over 3,000 humans. And every premature death he was able to link to mineral deficiency. If we all know what osteoporosis is, probably, right? We've at least heard about it. You don't get the minerals in your system necessary for your bones to maintain their strength and integrity, and they get brittle and you break them easy. The same is true of all your organs, though. Your whole body stores minerals, and it uses them on a daily basis. And if you don't get them in your diet to replenish them, all of your organs turn to mush and they stop working. 30 years ago or so, I found or discovered Dr. Wallach, and he sells a supplement that I started taking. Took it for about 6 months, and I don't know how else to describe it except to say my innards tightened up. However you think that feels, but anyway. And where I used to get car sick easy, I'd always blamed it on Dad's driving. But after that, I no longer got car sick. Because the integrity of everything on the inside, when we eat meat, we're just eating muscle mass, right? It doesn't necessarily have a lot of trace mineral in it. But anyway, the integrity of everything inside just tightened up. And I didn't get sick anymore. It turns out that historically, hunter-gatherer groups or nomads are the healthiest people around. versus agrarian societies. Nomadic or hunter-gatherer people, they get to wander around and they sample foods, vegetations, and animals from different climates, up on the hill, down in the valley. And also the animals they consume do the same thing. They travel around and eat here and there, and they get a wide variety of minerals in their diet. Agrarian societies have a crop, usually in the same field year after year, and after a while the minerals just get depleted out of the soil. And while agrarian societies have the ability to gather calories easily, and they could stay in one space, and they could have larger communities, they could diversify, have a guy making shoes over there and blacksmith over there kind of thing, build permanent housing. The trade-off for that was chronic disease because of the mineral depletion. Anyway, we feed minerals to our livestock and stuff with salt blocks and whatnot, but the doctors tell you, stay away from salt. Taking care of yourself is pretty straightforward and simple, common sense stuff. It's just the opposite of what we're told, though. So anyway, get some minerals in your diet, you'll live longer. Thanks.